Hello there guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Joffy Noodle Legs here today. Today we're just having a little look at my curly hair spider. Just going to give you a little featured species on it. Just because, as you know, a couple of weeks ago I did a rehouse on the baby and I set it up in a brand new sort of environment. So I thought now would be a good opportunity for us to have a little look at the baby. So hopefully it will come out and say hello. So fingers crossed. Just don't mind me potting around behind. I'm just getting some food together for the little thing. It's a beautiful little spider. I've had this since it was an overgrown sort of sling, and I've had it now near on a year, probably just over a year, and it has grown to a fair old size. It is a beautiful thing, really cute little spider. Just chucked some food in there to encourage the little baby to come out. Now these are a New World spider. They are a terrestrial spider, opportunist burrower. Given the opportunity, it will burrow. If you remember, when it was in its last home, it burrowed so much it just turned the whole enclosure into like a big mud pit. So couldn't really enjoy the spider. So I rehoused it into this lovely exoterra. And since it's been in here, it seems to be doing really well, and it seems to be settled in there quite well, and it hasn't turned the enclosure upside down. So don't be surprised if you get one of these and they do turn your enclosure upside down. They are a little bit of a bulldozer sort of species. They do like to move their soil about. I mean, this has been moved about a little bit, not too much, luckily. Luckily she kept it quite nice this time. They do live a fair long time. I do believe the females can live between sort of 15 to 20 odd years, and the males round about sort of 4 years. They get to a fair size. They tend to grow to about sort of the 5, sort of 6 inches in size. They don't get much bigger than that, to be honest. So they're quite a reasonably good sized spider to have in your collection. Now, they do possess urticating hairs, which means it's a defense mechanism. So if they feel threatened at all, they will kick the hairs off, and they will sort of like, it's a defense mechanism, and they will just kick them off and kick them into the air. And if you get them on your skin, they can be a little bit irritating. Not too bad on your skin. You'll probably just have like an itchy and maybe a bit of a rash maybe. But the worst thing would be if you got it into your eyes or in your throat or something like that. They could be very tormenting. They do possess venom. Most spiders do. There's only a few that don't. These do. Their venom is not medically significant. It's probably going to be like a bee sting. If you get bitten by one, hopefully you wouldn't. And that's it really for the care. Substrate, I tend to give it a good sort of 3 to 4 inches, maybe a little bit more at the back, because as I say, they do like to burrow, and give them that sort of option. If you give your spider every option, you're going to have a happy spider. And they give them a nice hide. I've used cork bark there. I've used some moss to keep a little bit of the sort of humidity in there. These are quite an adaptable spider, and they don't mind a sort of cold environment, as well as like a dry environment, as well as a wet environment. So they are quite adaptable. So I just saw a cricket climbing up there. That's what I was trying to poke it off. Um, they are, you know, they can be quite adaptable, and they can be a little bit skittish when they're young, but the older they get, the less skittish they become, to be honest. And they are. This one is out a lot more, to be honest. I never saw it. It was always in its hide when I first sort of got it. It would never ever come out. But now it sits out pretty much all day. Like now, it's only gone into the hide because I've opened up the doors. So if you ever go to your spider, um, these do tend to sort of like go into their little hides and just hide away, keep themselves safe, because they don't know what you're going to be doing, do they? They don't know who you are. So they will go into their hide. But if you're patient, a lot of the time they'll come out again. So we're just going to hope this little baby will come out. So I have dropped some food in there for it. It should feel the actual insects, sort of like the crickets I've put in. It should feel them moving about in there. I'm just gonna see if we can have a little look. See, there's the legs poking out there. So she's aware that there's food in there. She's just sitting there, probably hoping it's going to walk past her door. You will find with tarantulas, they are quite a pouncy species of animal, rather than like your true spiders, which are more hunters. These are more of your pouncers. So you know, don't be afraid to see them pouncing on their food. I think she's gone back further into her hide, I believe. Let's have a little look, guys. Yeah, she's gone straight back into the hide, so we might not get to see her, which is a shame. Or he. It's a beautiful thing. I'll leave it there for a little bit to keep it running, just to see if it does decide to come out. So there is a cricket wandering around in there. So I'm hoping that will sort of encourage the baby to come out. I think because what it's doing, it's feeling the cricket walking around on the back of its enclosure. So that's why it's headed to the back of its hide. It's not to get away from us. It's just simply because it can feel the cricket, because I can see the cricket walking around the back. So that's why that spider has gone round there. Now, if the cricket was more around the front, the spider would come more out towards the front. And that's how the spiders sort of work, really. Like I said, they tend to pounce more. You do get some species that will hunt their prey down. I mean, my GBB, she will hunt her prey out. I think she's gone into pre-molt at the moment. But most of my spiders, they'll just sit there. There we go again, because it can feel that the little cricket is moving about. Yeah, so they tend to be a bit more sit and wait. They will sit for hours and hours and hours if they have to, waiting for the food to arrive in front of their face, pretty much. And what a lot of these spiders do, they will web the floor in front of their in front of their hides. That pretty much basically will detect anything that's moving on it, and it will help them judge their sort of striking distance, if you like, if they can strike and get it. Here she comes, look. So they can judge their striking distance. She's feeling these crickets wandering around, so the sort of temptation is sort of strong, you know what I mean? So she will want to come out and try and grab these, and it's hopefully we might get a bit of a view of her. So the crickets seem to be doing circuits around the front and the back of the enclosure. She knows that the windows are open of the enclosure, because she would have sensed that little change in the atmosphere and the air in there. So she knows these are open. So she's obviously feeling a little bit more sort of vulnerable. Which can, I mean, I can turn the light off. Problem is with doing that, it's so dark and we get shadows, we're not going to see much. So I'm just leaving the sort of light on just so we get a chance to see it. Yeah, I've had this a while now. Now, is this a beginner species? Now, I believe it's more about beginner keepers rather than beginner spiders, because spiders are not beginners, are they? This is a spider being a spider, you know, so it's only the keepers that are the beginners. And that's pretty much down to your capability and your confidence. If you feel quite confident in keeping a spider, I would say yes, the curly hair is definitely one of the more sort of slower, easy of care spiders to keep. If you think, oh, these can you handle them? I don't handle my spiders. Some people do. I personally don't agree with it, because I think the spider gets nothing out of it. Why would I want to handle the spider if it's not going to be getting any benefit from it? You know, they tend to get more benefit by you just leaving them being themselves. So I don't tend to handle my spiders. If you do handle your spiders, just remember you're always at risk of being bit. Doesn't matter how docile your spider is, you're still at risk of being bitten. And that's your fault. Okay, it's not the spiders. If the spider bites you, it's probably because it's spooked or it's scared and it's protecting itself and its home. So if you've decided to whack your hand in there and handle it, then you're the intruder, so it is your fault if you get bit by your spider. So I do sort of like encourage you not to handle the spiders. Now, if you're rehousing and they wander onto your hand, that's a bit different, isn't it? Because you've not gone out of your way to handle the spider. It's just sort of like wandered onto your hand, isn't it? So that's a bit different. Just trying to get a nice little look at the spider there for you. So that's a different sort of thing altogether. But again, they wouldn't normally be defensive or bite you, because all they're doing there is being sort of curious and just looking around and maybe looking for their escape routes. So they're not interested in that. They're not interested to bite you anyway, guys, spiders. Like I said, the only time they ever would is if they felt threatened. So the best thing to do is use them like you would fish, as an observation sort of pet. Enjoy them for their beauty and enjoy watching them. Put the food in, put the water in, watch them feed him. And your spider will be happy and you'll be happy. So I can only encourage you to do that. You know, a lot of people seem to want the spiders to be like a sort of trophy, something to look at me, look at this, I've got this. And you know, I'm not like that. These are my pets and I love them. I don't buy spiders just for the sake of putting on my channel or for you know, just to make a video. I don't do that. I do my spiders because they're my pets and I love them. And this one's a beautiful spider. So we've had a little look at the spider now. She eventually came out, didn't she? Or he. And you can see the nice new home that it's in and settled in really, really well. She's gonna sit there. You'll sit there and wait for one of those crickets to make the mistake of getting a little bit too close, and then she'll grab it. So I'm not gonna sit here waiting for that, because like I said, they will sit and wait for hours if they have to. So we're not gonna do that, are we? So what we do, I'll do my normal thing of I'll give a shout out to a few YouTubers before leaving the video. This is just a little featured species video. So I'll give a shout out to Mark the Spider Guy, RS Designs, Peter Webster, Spider Mum 1978, Unusual Pets, Unseen Universe, Incredible Animals and Other Inverts, Tea in the Deep Blue Sea, Ellie's Bug Babies, Robbie's Talking Teas, Tom's Big Spiders, Dave's Little Beasties, Tarantula Collective. Really great channels, guys, and full of information. TJ Tarantulas, check his little channel out. Seems like a nice lad, seems to be putting quite a lot of videos up. So if you've not checked out TJ Tarantulas, go and check him out and say that tell him I've sent you over. Yeah, check out some of these channels, guys. Anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to leave the little baby to it, like I said, because I'm not a person to disturb my spider, and I'd rather it just sort of like, I'd rather just do little videos like this where you can see the spider, not always a feeding video, just that you can see the beauty of the spider. So what we'll do then, we'll leave the little baby to it, let it settle down, and hopefully a cricket will walk in front of it, not too long for it. Poor little thing. But yeah, but she's doing well. She molted out before I moved her over. Just trying to see if I can get a little bit closer so you can have a look at the size of her abdomen and the nice beautiful carapace she's got, and how beautiful that spider is. Anyway, guys, until next time, you look after yourselves, you look after one another, and I really hope that I will see you all soon.